This episode of Shooting from the Lip is brought to you by the County Line, Louisville's last honky-tonk bar, located at 1891 Old Preston Highway in Hillview, Kentucky. Manager and bartender Chris Lucien invites you to check out live music every weekend, Friday and Saturday nights. Check out their Facebook page, The County Line. Mention Shooting from the Lip on Friday nights and get Jack Daniel's Honey for $3.
Shooting from the Lip features views and opinions from smart, funny, serious, and not so serious people. This show is intended for a mature and not so mature audience. Enjoy the show!
What is up? Kevin Hale up in this Shooting from the Lip studio, my studio, my part of the studio for episode 197, the countdown to 200. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Doing it up tonight with my partner in crime. He puts the ass in class, my man Russ Hinkle. Russ, what's up?
Oh, I love being the ass in class.
I know you do.
I think that's what most of my teachers said about me when I was in school. I was the ass in class.
You're one assy, classy dude.
Yep. What are you doing? How goes it today? Oh, I was just watching.
I was to say it's a long day. I'm actually tired. This show tonight has the makings of being one of the shorter shows that we've done on a Monday night, and I'm okay with that. So.
Oh, wonderful! Everybody can get a good night's sleep, and catch up on the presidential debate after the show, and watch a bunch of monkeys just talking about nonsense.
Well, let's jump right in, Russ. Speaking of the debate, I've been watching it. I'm DVRing it because I've just been in the process of, getting ready for the show tonight. But right or wrong. Whoever you're, for or against or whatever, this debate is historic. You got the first female presidential candidate debating, in a sense, a non-politician, and so it's been interesting so far. What's been your take?
Well, what I see is two things. I see Hillary Clinton reducing herself to talk on Donald Trump's level on some things. She's using some of the same language he used just to, I don't know if it's to appeal to his audience or to spoof him, but I've noticed that. But I did notice Donald Trump sweating a little bit, and everything they say about him having thin skin and whatever. He's very eager to take up for himself. If anything, she'll sit there and let him talk, and but when she's talking, it feels like he has to interrupt and all that. So it'll be neat to see how that plays out for the rest of the thing. But I think unless she makes him look like an ass, which it shouldn't be hard to do, unless she just makes him look like a real ass and like makes people kind of ashamed. That's what this is about. She needs to make people ashamed of following somebody who is just speaks as uneducated and uneloquently as Donald Trump, and just is such a huckster, used car salesman, saying just saying things that are completely hyperbole. He says, "Oh, I heard a guy say this," or people have been saying this. If she can't make him look dumb for that, then he's probably going to end up winning. So she needs to do a better job of making him look silly.
Well, let's take those comments, and he's got a huge following. If you look at the polls, CNN polls, all these polls that have come out, it's basically pretty much tied, or he's winning. The margin of error, I think, keeps it neck and neck. But he's right or wrong, politician or car salesman, he is resonating with a lot of people. Not me, but there are that core base of his fans are Ooh, pretty diehard, pretty white. uh, so
Yeah, no question about that. It'll be interesting.
what
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see.
what is, to stay with Trump here, what is the appeal to his hardcore base? And what is it about him?
What it is it's the guys that are between, probably around our age, early 40s to, mid 60s. These guys, these like baby boomer type guys are, and not all of them, not the academics, obviously, but your average, middle class American worker, the things have not gotten any easier. Nothing is. There's been no breaks. Things haven't gotten easier. Things have probably just gotten progressively harder as far as earning, enough money to make ends meet and to, strive for the lifestyle that you want to have. But that's who he's resonating with. These older folks like this, and of course, those are the normal people that he's resonating with. Like, when Hillary Clinton called it a basket of deplorables, you do have the KKK type people. You have the just, still latently racist people. You have the, hardcore evangelicals who want to, just like Islam wants to impose Sharia law. They would love nothing more than to impose some kind of more biblical, centric law. So, these are the deplorables she's talking about, just people who are absolutely out for themselves and out to, kind of raise themselves up above any other group that they can. So yeah, I mean, he's resonating with, some bad people, some normal people, and he's just, it's because it's people who are looking for an outsider, someone who's not inside of Washington, somebody they think is going to do something different. But what they keep failing to understand is this is an opportunistic businessman. So the only thing at the core of his existence, if anybody believes Donald Trump is out to help the middle class, I don't know how you can never explain it. If someone truly believes that Donald Trump is out to help the middle class, you could never explain how that, that's not likely to a person who believes that. Because if you, most people are just like Donald Trump because they hate Hillary, and
Right.
hating someone is motivates a lot of people.
Yeah, it's it still befuddles me. I never use that word, so there's a time I get to use it. How these are our two choices for the to run the show, come 2017, and that blows me away. I have no confidence in either. So
I truly think it's by design. I truly think it's by design, and the reason I say that is because the powers that be, the people running the show, the highest forms of government, they there's a lot of issues they don't want people paying attention to, and the main thing they don't want people paying attention to is money. They don't want people paying attention to the money. Power and in control want to have a system that makes sure that they, even if they make a little mistake, they don't lose their money. So this election, these two poor candidates, these two terrible choices for president, are such a distraction to the American people because they're so divisive. I mean, Donald Trump, you just need to say the word Donald Trump and it's divisive. Hillary Clinton has a laundry list of things that she's done that are controversial and at least inconvenient, at the very least inconvenient, that makes her a very divisive, polarizing figure. So with these two absolute court jesters going at it, no one can pay attention to the people doing this stuff behind the scenes, and that's what they want. America's like the Wizard of Oz. There's a dude behind the curtain. There's a group of people behind the curtain, and the big hologram that we're looking at is nothing but a freaking distraction. And we're all everybody falls for it.
Who's behind the curtain, in your opinion?
I don't know. It's people with lots of. It's like what people. It's probably like what some of your conspiracy people would come up with, but a little more pragmatic, a little more practical. It's the
The Rothschild, is it
people,
right? The Rothschild,
yeah.
Is it those people who
the
have
Rothschilds,
like,
the Bilderbergs, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergs. These were people. A few of these people were people that started the Fed. And the Fed, as you have to remind people all the time, is not a government entity. The Fed is a privately held company that decides how much money is worth in this country and pretty much all across the world, for that matter. So, the people who are behind that people who have so much money that the only, politics and stuff like that is blood sport to them. It's just entertainment. But they have to get into it just to make sure they have to be, involved in the power so that they can make sure that, what they want to stay in place stays in place. So no one can get upwardly mobile and remove them off of their money throne. I mean, people say, "Oh, Bill Gates is the richest man in the world." Nonsense. He's not. He's the one, the richest man in the world that you can see on paper. There are people that that have so much wealth and power that it would make Bill Gates. I mean, they probably can call Bill Gates and tell him what to say next. That they're so rich and powerful. So it's just a big puppet show. We're all involved. I mean, you saw that George Carlin soundbite that was on Facebook where he comes up and says, "Hey, look, you people, you're all fooled. We're all fooled. I mean, there's no question that we're all fooled, but there's nothing we can do about it, really. So, paying attention to the bullshit puppet show is about our only thing we can do."
Gotcha. Actually, Tiffany reminded me tonight when I was chatting with her before while I was getting ready to do tonight's show, had the debate on, and she reminded me that, ufologists, people in the UFO, that field and all the people who believe in UFOs, aliens, are rooting for Hillary because evidently she is, going to be pushing for full disclosure when it comes to the alien agenda. So stay tuned for that, Russ. I know that's
that's all we need is more distraction.
Don't you want the truth, young man?
I'd like the truth about why point one hundredth of the population controls 99% of the wealth and and assets. I'd like some truth on that. I could give a shit about some guys with brown eyes.
Watch it. All right. Before we get going with our show, let me plug who we are. Shooting from the Lip. You can find us on iTunes and YouTube. Subscribe to us there. We're on the SoundCloud and Stitcher apps. Twitter at The Shooting Lip. My Twitter at KevinHale423. My buddy at Reality Russ. Like us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Again, live tonight with episode 197 via Blog Talk Radio. Russ, our first guest, he was on several months ago. He was on during a County Line segment where he was going to be playing he played a gig there, and we were doing, at that time we were doing the County Line promos. Dallas Moore Band. He resides out of Ohio, the 513, but he recently did a live gig at the Bullitt County Jail. Russ, I don't know if you have history with the Bullitt County Jail. If you do, we'll talk about that later. But Dallas Moore, our guest tonight, who is promoting his CD release. He has a CD release party show coming up here in Louisville. Dallas, what's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, brother. How are you, man?
We're rolling. I'm great. We're rolling through the great state of Kentucky as we speak while I'm talking to you. I got y'all dialed
Where you
in
heading?
good.
Good. Where are you heading to?
We're headed from Lancaster, Kentucky, on to Okeana, Ohio tonight, and we're just a little bit north of Lexington right now.
Very cool. Russ, I don't know. I think you were on the show at the time we did the County Line segment with Dallas, but Dallas, I remember, fun segment with him.
Yeah,
and
sure was.
Well, tell us about the gig itself. It's
well,
Go ahead.
About the actual CD release party or the actual?
Well, no,
recording?
tell us about the Bullitt County, the gig at the Bullitt County Jail first, and then we'll talk.
Okay. What we did, we went into the Bullitt County Jail on Monday, May 23rd, 2016, in the afternoon. And it was just myself and my guitarist of 20 years, old Chuck Morporgo, or also known as Lucky Chucky, the Jersey Devil. And it was just the two of us and our acoustic guitars and one microphone. A very raw and sparse setup, and we were locked in a very small room with the inmates and jailer Martha Knox and Captain Burks and a couple of guards, and it was pretty close quarters. And that afternoon we recorded 13 songs that I had written, and in front of that audience, and captured it all. And we're going to be having the CD release party for it coming up here this Thursday in Louisville, Kentucky at Manny and Merle. And it was the actual day that we recorded it. It was both one of the most hardcore and humbling things that I've ever done in my career, as far as playing a show or anything like that. And I think we really connected with with our audience, and I think more importantly we really captured what it was like in that room that day. There's no overdubs or anything like that. It's very raw, like I say, just two acoustic guitars and my vocal, and it's all original music. And at the end of the recording session, we had about 10 minutes where the inmates were allowed to ask us some questions or talk to us for a little bit before everybody had to be back in their cell. And many of them were just very appreciative that we had come there to do that and make the record. They made the record with us, by participating, in it. And I talk about that on the live record. I say y'all are making this record with us, which they were. They were a very big part of it. But many of them were the songs that I chose. Some of them were brand new, and some of them were very old. And some were kind of in between, but the common thread that they had was we got told by several of the inmates that they said, "Man, you're singing my life. What you're singing about here is the reason why I'm here, or why I hope to get out." And it was very very moving and very intense, and I think we captured all of that on this recording.
What was the inspiration to go there and do this, Dallas?
Well, I was actually contacted by a dear friend of mine for many years, a lady named Jennifer Stepp. She's more commonly known by the nickname Punkin. She's been around the Louisville and Shepherdsville area for quite a while. And I knew her from being a fan of my band, and we had several mutual friends. And she volunteers at the Bullitt County Jail. And we were actually on tour. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we were out on tour, and we were out in California. And this all started last year. And we were contacted by her about me possibly would I be willing to come and teach a songwriter segment, like a kind of like a seminar, to some of the small group of inmates. She had seen that I had taught some songwriting seminars at a couple of different universities around the country, and that I'm part of a few different songwriter festivals, now. And she had seen that I was doing that, and she had said that they had somebody come in and try to kind of teach what they were looking for to be like a songwriter class, but they said it ended up being more like poetry, and that really wasn't what they was looking for. So she was interested in me coming and kind of explaining, the craft of songwriting, and to give people an idea to do with their thoughts, and try to translate them into music. And my wife was driving. We were out on tour. I believe we were out in California at this time, I'm pretty sure. And she was driving along, and I said, well, that's cool. We'd also at the same day got a request to come and play at a friend of ours preschool for show and tell day. And I remember my wife saying, well, your offers keep coming in. You just got an offer to play a little preschool show and tell party, and you got offered to play at the Bullitt County Jail. So in the same day. So I was like, well, let me think on them for a minute. And we drove on a ways, and then we ended up switching driving.
You ditched the kids, Dallas? You ditched the kids?
No, it wasn't the same day. No, I did both.
Okay.
Both things. But we got the offer on the same day. We got the initial offer on the same day. No, that's all. No, you got to do one for the kids. But we switched drivers, and I thought about it, and my wife was asleep, and a few hours later, I was able to kind of clear my head while I was driving. And I said, man, you call her back and tell her I'll do that Bullitt County Jail thing. But I said, I don't want to teach a seminar. I said, I'll do it if they'll let me bring in, just their equipment and record it. And I'd like to have it be all original music. And I'd like to record the whole thing and have that be an acoustic album, which I was not planning to do at the time at all. I was right in the middle of recording my next full-length band album, which now that's gotten put off until spring of next year because this kind of fell in our lap. And it was on, then it was off. This started actually in October of 2015 when this idea originally was put forward to us. And we had to go through. There were just very minimal people that we were allowed to, bring with us. There was 4 of us total. There was myself and my guitar player, Chuck Morpergo, and my wife, Jeni Carr, who's my manager, and Brian DeBruler, who's the president of Soul Records, which is my record label, and he brought the recording gear in and was the engineer that day. We were the only 4 that was able to go in. We all had to pass a series of background checks, and then it was on, then it was off. Then around the time the holidays came, we just all of a sudden quit hearing about it, and I just thought, well, it's not going to happen. And then after the first of the year, they reached back out to us and said, hey, are you still interested in doing this? And I was like, yeah. And so it went through another series of, it was on and it was off. And there were so many things that could have derailed it. And so I was not saying anything on social media or at my gigs or anything like that about it, because I didn't really know if it was going to really happen. I didn't want to get too excited. And then we had been in negotiations with Jailer Martha Knox, and it had been going on for a while. And then it started looking kind of promising once we got into, around April. And then we were trying to find a date that would work for them that went well with my tour schedule. And it ended up being Monday, May 23rd. We still had not said anything about it at the time. And then a press release got put out by Jailer Knox, and about a week before it, maybe a week and a half, I believe, before we went to do the recording. And I was like, well, I guess that's about as official as we're going to get. So we decided then it was on. We just happened at that time to be touring up in the Northeast. We had an interview with Sirius XM from Rockefeller Center in New York City, and that's where I made the official announcement. And I said, well, I reckon I'm okay to tell everybody this, make this be our official press release here on this, because the jailer has let everybody know. And there were people from some of the local news stations and stuff that had contacted us, and I said, well, I think it's real. And next thing I knew, the next week it was. So when we went in, and that's kind of how it all come about.
And you get there, you pull it off. The reception. I mean, how many actual people in this room are you playing to?
About 100.
Really?
With everybody in there, yeah. It was close to 100 people in a very, very small room. There's no what a lot of people probably don't realize. When Cash did Folsom and Live from Folsom Prison and Live from San Quentin, those are recorded in very large cafeterias where you could house quite a large thing. This was on a much smaller scale. Number one, there is no cafeteria at the Bullitt County Jail. This was in a very small room, and it was very close quarters. They had everybody lined up in rows of chairs, and they were literally right up on us, like to where their feet were like touching my mic stand. We were. It was very very close quarters, and
Intimidating? Was it intimidating?
No.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could have been, but I went in and I knew what we were there to do, and I looked everybody in the room in the eye and sang my songs to them, and I think we connected really well, which was what I wanted to do. And we had so many of them said, you know, like I had said a few minutes ago, that the songs I had written that they felt like they had really connected with, and that like what I was singing about was telling like their story, you know, and I think that kind of really helped pull the whole thing off, and it worked out really good. I'm real proud of it.
Good. Now I can honestly say, Russ, his comment about the Bullitt County Jail not having a cafeteria, I didn't know that one way or the other. Russ, be honest. Yeah. You knew the answer. You knew that answer to that. You knew.
Oddly enough, if I would have been to the Bullitt County Jail, I wouldn't have been to this new facility. So it would have been back in my younger days, and I never made it there. Now I have been to a worse place, which is known as the Hardin County Jail, and it's a much worse place as far as I can tell from what I've heard. But that new facility looks actually kind of nice, honestly.
Well, it wasn't a Hilton, but it was, it was pretty close quarters, and we were glad we were able to do it. To my knowledge, it's the only, not the only album that's been recorded in a incarceration facility since Cash, but it's the only one that thus far has been released. I know back in the day, Billy Don Burns produced an album where he recorded Merle Haggard and Johnny Paycheck up in Chillicothe, Ohio, but it's been tied up in a lot of legalities, and it's never been released. And I don't know this 100% to be fact, but for everything we've looked into it on, this is the only recording that has been done in an incarceration facility of any type that's actually being released since Cash. And we had another thing that was that sort of in a very indirect way tied it in with the whole Cash prison recordings. The gentleman who served as kind of our guidance counselor, if you will, or our advisor, or Yoda, if you will, was a gentleman by the name of Bill Halverson, who, when he was a very young man, he was the sound engineer on Cash's Live at Folsom Prison record. And he went on to be a great producer, producing acts like Eric Clapton and Crosby, Stills and Nash, and many others, Chuck Berry and Bad Company. And Brian DeBruler, who is was the sound engineer for my record and the president of my record label. Bill had our connection with him was made through, he produced Brian's album with his band Pure Grain a couple years ago. So then that's how we got to meet and then know his history. And then when we went to do this, he's kind of who we looked to for a little guidance about what we were what we were actually doing, and what was going to be our best way to go about it. And we went about it, like I say, I've said a couple of times, it's really as raw and sparse as you get. We had one microphone set up and 2 acoustic guitars, and that's it. And then when we rolled the tape on it, and then what you hear is what you get. It's what we did that day for that hour. And it's 13 songs total.
You said afterwards they got to ask some questions. What were some of the questions you got asked?
There was one that was kind of funny. I have a song that I originally had out on the Dark Horse Rider album, and but there's one of the lines in there is, the Cowboys still got Romo and the Japs have got Jim Beam. It's a crazy world we're living in. Beats all I've ever seen. And I had one fella raise his hand and he said, "Sir, I've been in here for a while. Did the Japanese really buy Jim Beam?" And I said, "Well, yes, they did." And he said, "Well, that does beat all I've ever seen."
That's funny.
He had said that's where he worked, I believe.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so it was when they were able to talk to us, it arranged everything from questions like that to I have a song on there called "The Ballad of Sweet Marie," and one fellow raised his hand and expressed that he liked the song where I drowned the girl in the river. So everybody was kind of
well, that probably confirms what he was in for, right?
Yeah, you never know. But I didn't ask. But it was most everything was very positive and uplifting, and it was really cool, and most really just expressed that they were appreciative of us coming there that day, because nobody ever wants to go to jail, and nobody wants to be there, and I was sort of like, I kind of made a little joke. I was like, when the whole first thing come about, I thought it might be a trick, like one of them things like when they tell you won a TV or the lottery or something like that, and hey, Dallas, come down here and make a record, and really you're going away for a while. But it wasn't that at all.
You were double checking, Russ. Dallas was like
so you
thinking,
can rest assured that all them crimes he committed, they ain't caught up to.
all those unpaid tickets or any warrants out for him.
Yeah,
that's probably doubling up.
Well, I'll tell you everything. With the way I was excited and pleased when we passed the background checks, and I realized that if you have the glorious results of your misspent youth expunged, it actually works. So that's how we were able to go do our thing. Everything came up clean as a whistle.
Russ, do you think we could pull off? I think why don't you get in touch with somebody over there and see if we can do a podcast there? Russ? No.
Hello.
So what now? Podcast over at the jailhouse?
Yeah.
No, I
don't
think I'd want to go to the Bullitt County Jail.
If I try to be funny and dead airspace happens for more than 0.25 seconds, the joke is no good. So never
falls flat as a damn bicycle tire.
Exactly.
Hey,
here's the thing.
I'll tell you what. If y'all come, I think a lot of the folks from the jail are going to be at the album release party on Thursday at Manny Merle, and if I can introduce y'all and you can talk about it, and might be able to
all those people, like the people in charge, not the actual.
I could put you right in touch with the people in charge.
Wow.
You can run up the flagpole and see what happens.
See what happens. All they can do is tell us no. Well, let's speaking of your event, this coming, is it the 29th? So it'd be Thursday at Manny and Merle at it looks like 8 p.m. Is
8 o'clock.
Is the official CD release party? Tell us about the event coming up.
We're going to have a series of 3 official release parties, but this is the first of the 3. And we wanted to have it in Louisville, obviously, because it's the closest place we could have it to the Bullitt County Jail, and have as many people that were able to attend, to come. And we've got such a great connection with Louisville. Half of my band lives there, and we have just a great fan base, and it's a great city. And Manny and Merle's is a great place to play acoustic, and that's what this will be, an acoustic show. It's not my full band. It'll be just me and Lucky Chucky playing acoustic, the same way as the record is. And we'll come out at 8 o'clock. It is a free show on Whiskey Row, as I like to say whenever we play down there. But there'll be no reserved seating except for the people that are from the VIP thing that are our guests. But it's first come first serve, so everybody might want to get there early, because I think it's going to draw a really good crowd. And we're going to start right at 8 o'clock sharp, and we have Luther Jackson, who's a very famous DJ. He's been nominated for Ameripolitan DJ of the Year a few times down in Austin, Texas, and he's a great friend of mine. He's coming in to MC the show, and he's always been a great supporter of our music. And I think what we're going to do is come right out and play the whole album in its entirety, and then we'll probably have a short break and then come back and do another set of some of our other music, and probably a few surprise jams, and we might even have a couple surprise guests join us on the second set. But
cool.
It is going to be free, and we're really looking forward to it. Having the first of the 3 album release parties in Louisville, Kentucky. The other 2 are going to be, one is in Austin, Texas, and one is in Los Angeles, California. But we're getting Louisville first, so we're excited.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I remember
Kentucky bourbon and some of that hot chicken.
Russ, are you, speaking of bourbon, what is your bourbon of choice tonight, Russ?
Well,
still.
Oh, no, I don't have any bourbon in my glass tonight. I actually, Mallory made some pasta with some pasta primavera with some fish, and she broke out the red wine. So I'm kind of teetotaling on the red wine tonight.
Oh, okay, fair enough. When do you have another visit at the county line down the road? Anything lined up, Dallas?
I do. We'll have the full band there. I'm not in front of my calendar right now, but I want to say it's the first Friday in December. And
okay, cool.
And all of our, and we just added a couple dates in 2017 as well.
Very cool.
I got with Chris the other day last week. But all of our dates are at dallasmore.com, and the album will be available at the release party on the 29th. Cool. And then the official street date for it, to where it'll be available at dallasmore.com and iTunes and all digital retailers, worldwide, is next Tuesday, October 4th. But we will have the CDs and all of our new T-shirts and merchandise and everything available right there at the album release party on Thursday at Manny and Merle.
Love it. I loved your show when you were at the line, and I know Chris is a huge fan as well. So I was, when I obviously was one of the questions I wanted to ask is when you're going to get back to the line, because that whole atmosphere was very receptive to you, and yes.
We love it. So, it's a real honky tonk, and one of our favorite honky tonks anywhere, and definitely one of our favorite in the state of Kentucky. It's great to have a home out there, and Chris and his whole staff, everybody's great, and the crowd is just awesome, and it's a real honky tonk, and that's some of our favorite places to play. So it's good to have a home there.
Very cool. Dallas Moore coming on, promoting the Live at the Bullitt County Jail CD. The release party here in Louisville will be at Manny and Merle on Thursday, September 29th at 8 p.m. Dallas, as always, thanks for hanging out, brother. And
thanks so much.
If I don't see you Thursday, I'll definitely see you in December. But best of luck, buddy, and stay safe, and we'll talk to you.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon, brother. I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Stay easy.
Absolutely. Take care, man. Yeah.
All right.
The Bullitt County Jail.
Yeah. And it's kind of I like how they it looks like the debate is looking over my shoulder. It's so funny watching these debates. Where Hillary and Donald absolutely have trashed each other. And I would have really appreciated if, like, when they walked on stage, that they didn't even want to shake hands. They weren't chorus. I would have to me I'm just anyways. Good first segment. Dallas Moore's a very, very cool guy. Music, he kills it with his music, with his performance. Got to see at the line. So, anyways, next segment we're waiting on. I think Jake's calling in now. There is a benefit that's coming up this Wednesday. It's called Benefit for Blake. I'll let Jake Badger, who is the drummer, one of our buddies from Wildwood, and Katie Mack, who is in part who the benefit is tied to. We'll let them share what that benefit is all about. But before I'm trying to see, before we get them on, What else is happening? What else, Russ, like over the week? Oh, I did see, in case you were wondering, this Satanic Temple, they're officially opening their international headquarters in Salem, Massachusetts. Does that like do anything for you?
I think they'd do better
Russ?
if they opened up. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I on a delay or something? No, I think they'd do better if they would open up somewhere near the Ark experience.
I would, yeah.
Just go up there
like
and troll Ken Ham. I mean, if they were if they open that thing up next to the Ark experience, I mean, how many people would do videos and they look at one billboard, they look at the other billboard, and all of a sudden they can't wait for the Ark. That'd be kind of funny.
It would. One other thing too. Have you noticed? This has made national news, but I'm bringing this up because it recently made state news. Have you seen the news articles in regards to all these scary clowns that's been people dressing up as clowns in wood trying to scare kids or whatever? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, there was an article from Middlesbrough police where they arrested a man who was dressed up as a clown. His intent was to scare. I mean, this is not like Bozo the Clown. These are one of these hardcore, nightmarish clowns that are camping out in woods. And, my take when it comes to woods, I consider woods to be generally in a country atmosphere, and where there's a country atmosphere, there's probably some good old boys, and with good old boys comes guns. I would think, good old boys with guns would see this as target practice. People on their property looking stupid, in clown outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, you would think so. Somebody. I don't think too many courts in America would convict you if you shot somebody dressed in a clown outfit at night on your own property. That got some of them razor sharp teeth and the clown blood lips and looking all evil and shit.
I'm not a big fan of clowns. Actually, I hate clowns. That's clowns and dolls kind of spook me out a few levels. Yeah. What spooks you, Russ?
Things, noises in the night spook me a little bit. I'm a little. I grew up in the
ghosts and aliens is basically what you're saying.
No, I know better than that shit. But crazy dudes, coming off the road to your house trying to steal something because they need some meth or something. That's what makes me a little spooky.
Need some meth. So is that are you saying that because of an actual experience, or is that just hypothetical? I mean, has anybody ever really visited you looking for meth or whatever?
No, I got my when we first got this house and we're fixing it up out here, we put a brand new 2.5-ton air conditioner in and came back one day to see it all cut up to pieces for the copper. So anybody that would destroy a $5,000 air conditioning system for about $50 or $60 worth of copper is, in my estimation, probably pretty desperate for the cash, and most likely it may not be meth, but there's definitely something that they're going to buy to fuck themselves up later with my $5,000 air conditioner copper.
Well, not per se meth. Something I came across. I think it was on YouTube or something. Edible cannabis. Are you familiar with that, Russ?
Yes. Yes, I am.
And I've just turned Jake's mic on, and he is law enforcement, so don't say anything that will incriminate you about edible cannabis, Russ.
Okay.
But just theoretically, tell me what you know about edible cannabis. Is it popular? I hadn't heard it. Really.
Well, yeah, I mean, out in those states where they've legalized it, like Colorado and California and maybe Seattle is the three that I can think of right off the top of my head. It's become a whole industry of people putting it in like candy bars and stuff. I had a buddy that went out to Colorado, and he said as he got off, out of the airport, they kept seeing billboards about do not eat the whole candy bar, and apparently the whole candy bar is like a ton of cannabis or whatever that they put in it. There's a whole bunch of it in there, and you're only supposed to eat doses of it. But they said they get people, and I talked to a doctor down in Eastern Kentucky that said, that they get people in the ER all the time that go out there to those places, and they end up in the ER because they ate too much of that stuff, not because they're sick or whatever, but just because they're so so messed up that they can't really function.
Well, we got Jake on. Jake, what's up, man?
What up?
Hey, waiting on Katie to join us. I'll give her a few minutes. I'm gonna message her, see what's up with her. But Jake, you're watching the debate. I actually saw some of your Facebook comments on Hillary. What was your take on the debate, real quick?
Overall, just like I don't know, just I can't really get behind either one of them 110%. But as far as the law enforcement end goes, Hillary was just talking about us, making us look like we're a bunch of racist Nazis out there. So she always seems to piss me off. There's one person I can't stand. It's definitely Hillary Clinton.
But it's from the law enforcement. Now take that out of the equation. That's huge for you, and I get that. And respect who you are, what you do. You guys are the best. Take that out of the equation and then match them up. Is it still? Do you lean towards one?
Yeah, just the way she handled the whole Benghazi situation. There's just a lot of secrets and shadiness that surrounds her. Now, I love Bill Clinton. If Bill was running again, I'd vote for him in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton at all.
Russ and I talked earlier. It just blows me away how these are our two choices.
Yeah,
and you got a lying politician, and you do in a sense have a con man, as Russ would call him, a used car salesman. So, looking at the headlines underneath it, it's starting to look like that. The Donald may have won tonight.
It doesn't. The way he talks, it's hard to tell, what's going on. But like I said, I'm resigned to the position. I'm not happy. I mean, I haven't voted Democratic since 1992. I've voted nothing but Republican since 1992. And
in 92 was Clinton, right?
No, 92 was George. Yeah, but yeah, I was actually in the College Republicans down at University of Louisville, and was on the Bush advance team when he came to speak at that little aviation place. It's on Standerford Field, but it's on the other side. It's not like where the regular. It's like one of those little private airport hangar type things. I got to sit right behind him when George Bush Sr. spoke. But I'm so disenfranchised as a voter. I mean, I'm a pro Second Amendment guy with plenty of guns, and I've ran small businesses, but at the same time, I can't. There's one thing I can't stand as a small business person, and it's the one thing that Hillary hit on. And like I said, I'm not going to vote for Hillary. I'm not going to vote for Trump for sure. If somebody put a gun to my head and said vote for one or the other, I'd vote for Hillary out of just wanting to save my life. But at this point, I'm either not going to vote or vote for Gary Johnson just in pure protest. But it's just I just can't stand a con man who's completely out for himself. And Donald Trump just rubs me wrong. It's like so many people I've dealt with in business. He would fuck you out of a nickel in a heartbeat if he could. And not that Hillary wouldn't, maybe she would, but that's not her business. Her business is bullshit politics, and no matter what, we're going to get a bullshit politician. So I say let the bullshitter with the most experience have it. I mean, either way, we're getting a complete 100% bullshitter.
No, but Donald though, yeah. But as I'm looking at Melania, she's not exactly ugly. So I don't know. The guy in me didn't. Oh, never mind. Anyways. Jake, I don't know where Katie is, but let's go on and get this segment going. You, as you have done, you do regularly. You get involved in benefits. You run them. They're always for good causes. You're looking out for people, taking care of people. What is this particular benefit coming up Wednesday, September 28th at the county line about?
Well, it's the benefit for Blake, which Blake is Katie Mack's nephew. Katie's like my little sister. I love her to death. We played music together over the past couple of years, and over that time I've met several family members, including her nephews and stuff. And whenever the whole situation took place, it just kind of hit home. So I have young nephews myself, and just such a tragic incident that happened, and you can never prepare yourself for that. And of course, financially, the burden of medical bills and funeral expenses is just outrageous. Which right like the day that I was putting together the benefit, my stepfather passed away, and then I really got to experience it firsthand with helping my mom. And I mean, it's just unreal how much this shit costs. My stepfather was cremated, and we had to pay $1,200 to rent a casket for him to have a showing, and that still just blows my mind. So,
business is business, yeah. So.
Yeah, and I was able to rally together a few guys to come in and help. Of course, Chris Lucien from the county line, good buddy of mine, always there to help somebody in need. He was a big supporter of my Country for the Kids benefit. He stepped in, and we set a date up pretty quick, and made a couple phone calls. One of them was to my buddy Dustin Collins, who's also really close with Katie, and he jumped on board. And we got Josie Gomez, who used to sing with Shane Dawson. She's going to open up the show, and it's going to be a really good show. They're going to have I think they got some items to raffle off, do like a little silent auction. Jack Honey donated a couple bottles. We're going to do $5 shots, and all that money is going to go to the family to help them pay for the funeral and medical bills.
Very cool. Now, I have to be honest, Jake. I heard of the situation. I don't know the specifics. I didn't want to obviously pry, but this was something sudden because Blake. I mean, how old was he?
I believe he was 3.
I mean, good Lord.
I'd have to go back and double check, but I believe he was 3. And if I'm wrong, he wasn't much older than that. So, little bitty guy, like one of the happiest kids you'd ever meet. Like, always had a smile on his face, and I know he always loved coming out when Katie was singing and doing the all ages shows. So, but yeah, it's tough, especially when it's a kid. Man, it's always makes it even harder.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, you actually, from what I have seen, you set this up pretty quick, and obviously, again, props to Chris Lucien. He is. Chris is the man when just always making his venue available for any cause. But and once again, you guys, Wildwood, step in. They're gonna be the main event, if you will. And but yeah, that's something that I've got to give props to you too, Jake. That you're very hands on when it comes to these benefits. And I mean, that's just obviously it says a lot about you and your character, and so I'm always rooting for you, and I always want to do my part to help you get the word out. So good deal.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think it's important. We get to go out every weekend and do something that we enjoy doing, and make a little money for it, and be able to give back to some of the people that support us and help us out. It's what it's all about, and being able to raise money for a good cause, whether it's something like Camp Quality or a benefit for somebody in need. Like, I think it's important, like I said, to just kind of give back and keep the tables turning. So we're happy to do the benefit.
Very cool. Russ, it's 6 to 10. Is that right? Just 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Wednesday night at the line. What else you all got going on this week? As you always have something going on. because you guys are
Man,
so damn popular these days.
It has been freaking busy. Yesterday was, let's see, what is today? Monday. Yeah, Sunday was my first off day in 3 weeks. Between the sheriff's department and touring with Dusty and then Wildwood, like it has just been one thing after another. We did our pre-production for our EP last week. And Monday we're going down to Nashville. We'll be down there all next week, recording our EP with Phil Harris. And Thursday night we're doing a showcase at the Wild Horse Saloon. Really looking forward to that. Got some people coming out to see us, got some opportunity in front of us. So we've just been really focused on going down there and laying down these 4 songs. I feel like it's the best 4 songs that we've written yet. Really dumped our heart and soul into these, and we've been preparing this show to go out there and knock down this door of opportunity and lead us into something a little bigger. And our goal is to go regional and kind of branch out of Louisville. And if we get this opportunity, we'll definitely be able to do that. And on top of all that, go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you guys under a label right now?
No, we're not.
Okay. So this is this the next line for you? Is that hopefully things play out to where you got that backing, that support, that label?
Obviously, a label would be huge. It's not the next step for us.
Okay.
Now, if Universal or Sony or Big Machine called me tomorrow and was like, "Hey, we want you guys on our label," like I would be an idiot to say no.
Right.
But I don't think it's next on the agenda, but it's definitely something that we want to look into, and that we hope to get with putting out this EP that's a little more higher quality than our first album, and I think just getting down to Nashville and getting in the area and networking and getting in front of new faces and new ears is going to be really good for us. And
you guys have been down in Nashville. I mean, several times playing down there. From what I understand, the reception.
No,
right?
We have not. We have not played Nashville before.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, this will be the first time that we've ventured down there. We always our goal was to kind of reach our peak in Louisville, do as much as we can here, and try to branch out to other cities, and then go after Nashville. It's not really going in the order that we planned, but that's all right. I think we're definitely ready to go into Nashville, and the opportunity kind of just presented itself. So we just had to capitalize on it and go down there, and we just got to go do our thing, go down there and kill it, and hope that it opens some more doors for us.
Yeah. Hold on for a second. Got somebody. Let me see who this is. Russ, Jake, converse while I scream.
The Wild Horse Saloon, now, is that on the main? That's on the main drag there. That's kind of like one of the iconic bars right there on the main strip, correct?
It's off of Broadway. Like if you're on Broadway, it like runs off of Broadway. It's like a block off of Broadway. But yeah, it's all down there in that main area.
That's the one. It's like got 2 levels to it, right?
Yes, it's.
Okay, yeah, I've been there for a couple of the bowl games, and that's a really, really cool place to play. It just looks like
The stage is huge. I mean, the building is. I mean, just the view from stage, man. It's like it looks like you're playing like an arena or something almost compared to some of the stuff that we're used to. But yeah, they just remodeled it. It's a beautiful venue, and it's one of those places. Everybody that I've talked to in Nashville, they said it's really hard to get into. It's something that you kind of have to be invited into. So we're really lucky and fortunate to have that opportunity. And we've had some friends play there before and heard nothing but good things about it. So we're really excited about going down there.
Yeah. How does that work out? How do you get in? I mean, how do they hear about you, or who vets you to the point where they call the people, the promoters or the the schedulers at the Wild Horse Saloon, and they say, hey, you got to have these guys, you get them down here. How does that work out?
Well, the showcase that we're doing is for a talent agency called Buddy Lee. And this is the same group that discovered acts like Florida Georgia Line, and they have a number of artists that were on American Idol or The Voice. I don't know if you guys are familiar to Halfway to Hazard. They're signed with them. They have a regional rep that books through Baxter's, and Nick Nowinski invited their rep up to see us the last time we played there, and we had a meeting afterwards, and the rep said that she didn't expect to like us as much as she did, and she wanted to bring us to Nashville, and we were like, hey, we're going to be in Nashville first week of October, and a couple phone calls later, and we're playing at the Wild Horse. So it all just kind of came together, you know, in a few days. And it's one of those things, man. It's like 1 minute you're playing Lowell, next thing you know, you got somebody from out of town, and you're going to Nashville to record an EP and play a showcase. So
now, check this out, Russ. That line that Jake just said, I use that with chicks when I say, I didn't expect to like you as much as I do or did. And I'm in. It's like it works. And for some reason, anyway. Speaking of chicks, we've got this chick who was supposed to call in at 10:40 through the, what every podcast host wants to hear. 2 words that they really want to hear. I forgot was the 2 words. And plus she pulled I was watching the football game. But nonetheless, fashionably late, Katie Mack. Katie, what's up, lady?
Hey.
How are you?
Katie, what's up, Bobo?
Nothing.
Who's winning the game, Katie? Let's put some truth to what you were saying.
Well, I came in my room. No, I don't know now.
I can tell you who's winning.
I don't want you to tell me, Russ. I want her. Who? Who's winning?
Falcons
Russ?
are winning. I can't believe it. I actually bet on this game tonight. Here I am, thinking the Saint Drew Brees was going to come have a big showing against the weak defense of Atlanta, and the Falcons are just beating them to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pro football.
Well, Katie. Yeah, Katie. We're glad you called in. Tell us, Jake. Well, Jake was sharing with us the benefit. Obviously, it's very near and dear to you. But tell us what did it mean for you though? Because Jake, you two are very close. And what was it like to know that you got this benefit for your nephew?
Yeah, it meant a lot. Whenever he texted me, I was like, no, like you really don't have to do that. And then to see all the people that say they're coming, it's crazy to see how many people are coming together just for one little boy.
Mm-hmm. How old was he, Katie?
He had just turned 3 in August.
Wow, good Lord.
Yeah.
The family, how are they doing right now?
Day by day. I had a breakdown Saturday. I was fine Sunday, cried today. It's just, hopefully it gets a little easier.
Well, that's healthy. That's natural. So wish you and the family well. Are you actually going to be singing Wednesday? Are you going to be part of the music? Okay. Well, this is tough. I always, being a father, being a grandfather, there's nothing worse than anything happening to kids or children. So my heart bleeds. And Katie, give us your music background.
I just play about every weekend. I don't really have much to say. I play all the time. That's about it. I started singing I started singing in bars when I was 15. But I started singing out when I was like in 7th grade. And now
Russ, what does that tell you? Yeah, Russ, what does that tell you when a chick starts singing in bars at 15? Be honest.
She's a smooth
no
talker.
Filter.
She must be a smooth talker to get in to be able to sing at 15.
I have a personality.
Yeah, she's a Russ. I've got to meet her a few times, and
I have no filter, and I'm easy to talk to.
No filter
like
at all.
Yeah, she's Katie like Sunday morning, right? Which, by the way, that's officially, I hate that Peyton Manning commercial. I just have to say it was just on CNN. So anyway,
I know. I saw that earlier.
Now, Katie, what's short-term goals? I mean, is this music? Is this part of what your future?
I mean, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't really, I don't care. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to, but if I make it, that's great. If not, I'm still gonna keep singing. So that's what I work for. So I have a job, but
what's the Katie go-to song? What's the one song that you will just either on the spot sing to a crowd, or you're if someone's outside the shower and you're going to town in the shower singing, what's that song?
Oh, I mean, I love Usher, but I don't sing it well. But Usher, that's what I listen to all the time.
Can you give us a line? Come on, Katie, give us a line.
Oh no, I can't, Usher. I mean, all the songs that I like of his are inappropriate, so I'm not going to sing those for you.
There's this is internet radio. Yeah, there's internet radio. You can say
whatever you want.
Say whatever you want. Sing whatever you want.
Kevin just asked you what you sing when you're going to town in the shower, and my mind went to a completely different.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of something now.
Well, go ahead. Come on. You got 3 guys on the line here, Katie. Humorous.
No, I don't want to be too. I mean, I'm very inappropriate. I don't want to be the nasty girl online.
She won't play along.
Start with the old school Usher. They call me U.S. HERRAYM. Wendy. Now, baby, tell me what you want to do with me.
Is that Usher on the phone right now?
Uh-oh.
Russ, you got every old school line
being put out right now after that.
Yeah,
that's probably the only one I can really remember. That was my big Usher day.
Well, you know what? We do this thing. Katie is the first time she's been on, so I'm gonna get her to play along. I do this little segment called Round of Shots. It is just a quick question answer thing. Just we'll have fun with it. Be forthcoming. You can be as inappropriate as you want to be. So first concert. We're not actually. We're telling and begging. So first concert you attended, Katie.
Oh gosh, probably George. I think George Strait.
Oh, how long ago was that?
I'm lying. I don't know. I've been to a lot. I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry. George Strait, though, I was 14.
Well,
it might have been Rascal Flatts. That's probably who it was, Rascal Flatts.
Here's the part of this round of shot segment, Katie. It's a quick fire. To get the answer right away is kind of part of it. She's given me 3 answers.
I forgot. I can't remember.
Okay. If Katie Mack could have a superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
So you can touch the sky?
Yeah.
You think about it every now and then?
Yeah, spread my wings and fly away.
See there? See
every night and day. I think about it every night and day, Kevin.
Okay, whatever.
Spread my wings and fly away.
Okay. All right, number 3. Now this one, the 3 of us on the other line, or the other end of the line, Katie, really want you to be honest about this question. Okay. What was the last picture you took with your phone?
Oh God.
I think a picture.
Let's leave him out of it.
Pooping in the bathroom.
What?
I was pooping in the bathroom, I think.
Score. That is a soundbite right there. We have Katie Mack, who is one of the few females that I've ever known to admit they poop.
I don't poop a lot.
It was you, right?
Actually.
I love it.
Yeah.
Russ, did you?
I don't poop.
What, Russ?
I got a
fart more than I poop.
I got a variation on that question that you should ask.
Okay.
You remember at the Grammys? It's still clean in its inception.
Okay.
It can go a little more south if somebody wanted to. Remember the Grammys that some guy hacked a bunch of celebrity cell phones that were there? and got like, all kinds of crazy pictures off of them of celebrities.
Right.
You recall that story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see that's what you say. If someone were to hack your phone, what is? Tell me a couple of the worst pictures they would find. That's what you mean.
All right, Katie, play along. That's
okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have an app called Hidden Calculator. That's where my nudes are, so they wouldn't find them. They would just find normal pictures.
Now, once again, Jake, you said she was like a little sister to you. Is this are these the answers that you want to hear from your little sister, Jake? Actually, no, Jake, don't even answer that. You'll ruin it. Don't answer it. I don't need you there. Yeah, let's just let her be.
I wouldn't.
God love her.
Any less.
Do you?
That's weird that that's weird that he thinks of me as little sister, because I think he's seen my boobs one time.
Oh.
Not at band. But go ahead, Russ.
When I got back on the dating scene about 9 years ago after my divorce, I'd go out every now and then, and I swear this is no lie. I had a couple of younger girls, basically say if you're back into dating and you don't have a what they would call, colloquially a dick pic on your phone, then you're not doing it right. So apparently, if you are going to be single, it is. I mean, not to say that all girls are into it, but there are some that it's a deal breaker if you can't produce a dick pic pretty quick.
Is that a yes? Would you agree? You've never?
I don't think I've ever asked for one. I've had them sent to me, but I've never asked for one.
Yeah. Well, see, there's some that hate them, some that like them, and some that are just on the fence, like, yeah, why not?
I mean, they're all ugly, so.
Yeah. They're all ugly. Nice. All right, we're seeing a whole different side of Katie than I thought. That smile. I'll be honest, Russ, you need to look her up on Facebook. Very pretty smile, and you would think there's innocence with that smile. I don't. That innocence, all that shit just went out the window right now. But that's okay. It's okay. As little sister is answering these questions, Jake. What is your favorite phone app besides the one that hold? Yes. What is your favorite phone app? Yeah, but it's the calculator thing.
Probably Snapchat.
No, you're one of those. All right.
Yeah.
You're still a kid. Have you even broke 20? Are you in your 20s yet?
Do what?
Are you in your 20s yet?
Yeah, I'll be 25 in December.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you had to be. You were I did see you at the countdown, so okay.
I sure hope so, Kevin, because good Lord, it doesn't leave a very wide berth of good ages if she's not in her 20s.
Yeah, that was a good point. I would have probably had to go back and edit the hell out of this show if she was under 21. It would have, yeah. Let's see. What's question 5? Is it better to ask for permission or beg for forgiveness?
Ask for permission.
No, that's very responsible.
Is it? Jake, do you ask for permission or beg for forgiveness at this point?
I'm gonna go with neither.
Me neither.
I'm just gonna do it without asking, and I'm not gonna apologize.
Exactly. How about that? Take that, sister. Twisted sister. She's officially got the twisted label to her, Jake. What is the last question for you, Katie? If you had access to a time machine and can go anywhere in the past, your living past, or like all the way back to the dinosaurs, where would you go?
I don't know. I mean, here, since this has happened here recently, just spending all the time with my nephew that I can.
Okay. Good answer.
Yeah.
All right. So you will be there. Obviously, you'll be there Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking.
Yep.
Russ. What we need to do after this call, Russ, we need to get our heads together and see if we readily know anybody that can hack a cell phone.
You don't. Hey,
Well-
you don't have. You have to have a password to get into that app. You don't know my password.
No, the real good hackers don't need passwords. I'm talking if we have to get Julian Assange and WikiLeaks involved, Russ, I think we should try it.
Kevin, I mean, as lovely as this young lady is, there's a whole internet full of the naked ones. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So
but there's something about people that it's a little different. Those are strange. Man.
I understand.
Russ, stop trying to be like a gentleman.
For you,
I mean,
that's crazy.
I just said look up porn instead of like.
All right, we totally digressed here.
Real.
Jake, once again, you come through getting involved with these benefits. You are the fucking man. Katie, wish you and your family well. I will be hanging out with you guys Wednesday, and we'll all raise a glass for Blake and enjoy the night. So.
No. Well, I look forward to it.
Yeah,
good
night. Stuff. All right. Jake, Katie, you guys have a good night. Katie, go back and I don't know if the game's still on. Go watch it.
No, I'm in bed naked now. I'm about to fall asleep.
Nice way to end the segment. God, she's.
Hey, Kevin. Now all you need is a surveillance fan and a pair of binoculars. Man. There you go.
Yeah, and some Usher tunes.
Yes.
Like,
oh yeah.
Can you sing some Usher for me? One more, Russ.
Me?
Give us one more Usher line before they hang up.
Honestly, I'm not kidding you. That part of that song, like if there's one that came on the radio, I might be able to sing the chorus or something. But right now, that part of that song is about all I got. That where he spells his name. Honestly.
Oh, okay. Katie, you can give us.
I gave you my best.
Katie, can you seriously give us one Usher line before you hang up? It would really.
Let
babe.
me think of my favorite line.
All right.
Give me a second. Oh, you put me on the spot. I can't think of the song that I wanted to tell you.
Come on.
Trade in Places. You've never heard that one?
Good one.
I'm
Go.
trying to think of all the. I have to hear it. Something. Whisper in my ear how bad you really want to do me. That's what I'm trying to think of the rest, and I can't remember it.
You're gonna give Kevin a heart attack.
Well, not an attack, Jake. But anyways, well, you guys came on and killed it. Jake, I love you, brother from another mother. Katie, wish you the best, and we'll see you guys Wednesday night. All right. Have a good night.
Thanks for having me on.
Bye.
All right, take care, guys. Russ.
What up?
Russ. It was a little more entertaining than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Anyways, we seem to. We always, what does that say? If we can take a conversation down certain roads, I'm kind of for it. I mean, it's what internet radio is about, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's all about entertainment.
Entertainment. Well, check this out. Before we hang up, we got a couple minutes. I want you to listen to something and then give me your feedback.
Years ago, when we first met him and he was considering running for president, there was a great preacher there. I don't want to say his name, but he is nationally known. And he said something to you. I don't know if you remember. He said, I want you to understand, Mr. Trump, that if you choose to run for president, there's going to be a concentrated satanic attack against you. He said this over 5 years ago. He said there's going to be a demon, principalities and powers are going to war against you on a level that you've never seen before. And I'm watching this every day. So we're going to pray for him.
Let's stretch our hands right now. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus that you raise up a man for such a time as this. God, we ask you right now that your choice is this choice. We believe, Lord God, that you ordain things. You said all authority is of you. Now, God, I ask that you would touch this man, Donald J. Trump. Give him the anointing to lead this nation. We thank you, God, that as a room full of clergy, a room full of leaders, a room full of business owners, mothers, wives, husbands, fathers, we ask for help. And we ask you, God, to let that help be in the form of the next president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. We ask you, God, to bless him, keep him safe, give him the wisdom and the strength to lead this great nation.
You like that, Russ?
That's it's ridiculous. I mean, absolutely stupid and ridiculous. It's as a matter
I
of
thought
fact,
that was a great way to end the night with you.
It's actually illegal what they're doing, because the whole separation of church and state. The reason they get tax exempt status is because they're separate from this. So when they start endorsing candidates from the pulpit, that's actually, as far as I know, that's not a legal move. And somebody should really be tracking those people down. And I mean, the clergy is not supposed to. I mean, to presume Almighty God's plan. I mean, it's absolutely. I mean, it's blasphemy to presume to think what who God wants to be president is just absolute, blasphemy. Yeah, you can want it or whatever, but it's just, on several levels, that's just, I mean, and obviously, people who base everything they believe on an ancient text that has absolutely no credibility it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're going to want a ridiculous candidate, and Donald Trump is the ridiculous candidate.
There you go. When I heard that soundbite, I thought that's the one I'm going to play at the end of the show with you. I thought it was.
Where in the world did you find that one?
It was on CNN. It was it was CNN or USA Today. It was actually it's on YouTube. So, anyways, wrapping up the show, Russ, I got to promote the County Line weekend gigs. Friday, September 30th, Big Steel Train, Brian Elmore and his band will be doing the line Friday night, and then Saturday, October 1st. You really believe this? Saturday, Russ? It's going to be October 1st. Terra Bella. Yeah, Terra Bella, a Nashville act, will be in town at the line. So Chris Lucien and his guys, the whole County Line establishment, will be rocking this weekend. The County Line 1891, Old Preston Highway in Hillview, the last honky tonk bar in Louisville, bourbon, beers, and billiards, $2 ice, code domestics. And you got your $3 Jim Beam Maple, Honey, and Fire. Also, they do karaoke every Thursday night from 8 till midnight. And again, this coming Wednesday, the 28th, September 28th, is the benefit for Blake, headlined by Wildwood, also featuring Dustin Collins and Josie Gomez. So that's what's going on at the line. So, Russ,
in beautiful Hillview, Kentucky, the hometown of Russell Hinkle.
Russell Hinkle. All right, man. Also, I got to promote it. Next Monday, October 3rd, will be, if everything goes as planned, tonight's 197. Wednesday will be 198. Friday, Shooting from the Lip show, 199. Next Friday, October 3rd, is going to be our 200th Shooting from the Lip episode. That very, very cool. And you've been a part of a lot of them with me, obviously our Monday nights, but you, me, Tiffany, and Greg will be on the show Monday night. We have 10 guests lined up. I'll be sharing those on our posts. Did you yawn? What'd you just do?
It was a little bit of a yawn that got caught into a almost a gargle.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm boring you, but 10 guests.
Oh.
All these guests have been on past Monday night shows. They're coming back to just shoot the quick stuff with us. Give us a shout out. and we'll shout out back to them, as they were all some fun Monday night episodes. So looking forward to that. Russ, any last words before we shut it down?
No, just gotta.
We need to keep working on that Division 1 thing, the D1 thing. We got to get that Division 1 thing
play D1
level. Yeah.
And that's for sure. And then the state of the union is such that we're pretty well screwed.
Well, we need to try to make the most of what we have, and if anything, we lean on others, not lean on them, but take care of our fellow people, family and friends, and hopefully things work out for the benefit, for the best. So, all right.
And Trump wins, every man for himself.
There you go. All right. For Russ Hinkle, I'm Kevin Hale. We bid you a good night and a pleasant day, Louisville. Peace out.
99.
At no time were any animals or people hurt during this presentation of Shooting from the Lip.